Welcome to the Adventurers Log episode 9. My name is CoachFliperon and today we will be featuring a Thonai the Raving configuration submitted by XTCG forum user Verdant. This Adventurers Guide submission is for the casual category. As such, it is a deck that doesn't have any restriction for its configuration, yet not fast enough to be considered a dedicated farming deck. However, this particular configuration is fully able to win on turn 2 with a proper end, so be ready. The purpose of Verdant's Thonai configuration is to end the game in the early turns either by playing a high-costed action for free or by attacking with a very big troop capitalizing on Thonai's passives to fuel the deck's engine. To review it, we will first take a quick look at Thonai the Raving herself. We will then review the party member and lastly the deck composition. You will also find in the video description below the list of cards, equipment and mercenary use along with how to find them. As always, to wrap things up, we will be putting the configuration to the test with a dungeon playthrough. First, let's take a look at the mercenary herself. Thonai the Raving is a witch that can be found through Scars of War, Wheels of Fate rewards. She has 19 health with a starting hand size of 8 and 1 additional charge. Her power is Whisper of Insanity. Basic, 3 charge cost, discard a card. Her upgraded power is Shriek of Insanity. Basic, 3 charges again. Each champion discards a card. Now, upgrading our power is very recommended if you intend to play her, as making opponent discarding a card has a very big impact over the game. Her first passive is Transmute Energy. Once per turn, when a champion discards a resource, you gain 3 temporary resource. This is a huge amount of resource, and the way you build her often is that you will be using your power on the first turn so that you can reach 4 resources every single game on turn 1. Her second power is Transmute Matter. Once per turn, when a champion discards an artifact or a troop, gain 3 health. This is the worst of the 3, but still she starts with 19 health, so getting 3 more health once in a while is never a bad thing to get. Her last passive is Transmute Mind, and this is where the money is. Once per turn, when a champion discards an action or constant, draw 3 cards. We're going to draw a massive amount of cards with Thonai, so often the way things works is that you will be skewing your deck building because of it. You do want a lot of shards though, because you want to be able to discard shards as well to gain a ramp. Her party passive is, at the start of the game, 2 random troops in your deck gets deployed, draw a card, then discard a card. Her shard grid is very interesting. She has an amazing access to everything in Blood, along with major access to Ruby, Sapphire and Wild. Lastly, she had limited access to Diamond and artifacts. Her deck rule reads, your deck must contain at least 20 actions. Overall, Thonai is one of the most powerful mercenary in the game. Her capacity to draw, ram and gain life, sometimes all at the same time, helps you a very diverse mix of archetypes. As if that wasn't enough, she starts with an additional card and charge every game. The cherry on top of course being that she has a fairly open shard grid enabling multiple shard combinations for maximum value. For party composition, we'll be running Clatterclank and Katsuhiro. Clatterclank gives us a party passive that reads at the start of the game, if you have more cards in your deck than each opposing champion, gain a charge. Katsuhiro also is a mercenary that is going to provide us a charge. At the start of the game, if an opposing champion won the coin flip, gain a charge. This combination is very common in PvE, and if you follow the PvE meta so to speak, you know that most of the time when you build around your mercenary, it is by using its power, and being able to ramp some charges early in the game means that you can use that power more often than not. Thonai is no different than the other mercenaries in that case, since we're going to make sure that we get as many charges as possible when you start the game so that we can use our power on turn 1 and on turn 3. For the decklist itself, we're going to run a 26 shard base with 4 Word of Innovation and 4 Word of Instinct. The deck relies on 3 main axes to win the game. The first one is with Forbidden Tomeseeker. It is a 2-cost 1 Sapphire Threshold 1/1 Chaos Touch Necrotic Mage that has a shift power of when you draw a card, this gets +1/+1. The way we're going to use Tomeseeker to win the game is that we're going to draw an awful lot of cards, and this card is going to get very big very quickly. We're also running the Forbidden Mask with the Tomeseeker to make it so that when we draw a Sapphire card, we gain an additional +1/+1. In a sense, when we get the Tomeseeker on turn 2, we often attack on turn 3 for anything upwards of 10 to 15 to even 20 damage on turn 3. The other axis that we're going to win games is that by playing the Wrath of Zakiir action. It is an 8 cost 3 ruby threshold basic action that reads, you transform into Zakiir, then deals 5 damage to each non-dragon champion and each non-dragon troop. Transforming into Zakiir is basically a champion with an awful lot of text that you just should read as, if you ever transform into Zakiir, you will be winning the game. I'll let you discover what it means once you get there. We're running both equipment for that card. The first one is gain 3 charges when we play it. The second one is summon a random dragon. Now, this is an extremely powerful package, but the cost is very high and the threshold requirement is very prohibitive. The way we're going to be able to play that card is by running Slithering Marauder. This one is a bit complex, but what it does is that this has -1 cost in all zone for each action in your crypt. So first thing is that we're going to be discarding cards with Thonai. This is going to be reducing the cost of Marauder significantly. We're also running a package of cards that also enable discard, which is going to reduce this cost quite a bit. Often we're going to be able to play this one on turn 3 or 4 easily. It has a deploy. You may have target action in your crypt, get void this, then play this action for free. This is really where the card gets going. We're going to discard a lot of cards. That means discarding the Wrath of Zakiir, or why not just an absolute power that lets us draw as many cards as we want. And then on turn 3 or 4, we play the Marauder, and we just play one of these big things and win the game because of it. If we play absolute power and we draw a lot of cards, then Forbidden Tomeseeker just become insanely big. If we just play Wrath of Zakiir, we're going to board wipe, create a random dragon, and then have a champion power that's just going to win us the game. Our third option, if all else fails, is that we're going to be playing Arcane Sea. This one is draw 2 cards, then summon Adrenaline for each card in your hand. In combination with absolute power, this means that we're going to create a ton of Dreadlings, upward of 40. This should be more than enough to win the game. Now, how do we enable all these things? There's various discard outlets, but the first one and the main one is Shroom Manipulation. This is a constant that costs 2 with 1 Sapphire threshold. It reads discard 2 card, ready target artifact or troop, or discard 2 card, exhaust target artifact or troop. So it readies or exhausts things. The thing is that when we discard cards for any of these effects here, we're going to activate Thonai's passives, gaining some resources, drawing a bunch of cards, gaining some health. And these only work once per turn, but if you do them at quick action speed with Shrewd Manipulation, you'll be able to do them during your opponent's turn. Another way we can do that is with Change Course. That looks at the top 3 cards per your deck, put one of them to your hand, put the remaining card into your crypt. This one fills Slithering Marauder fairly well. Crackling with that quick action, draws us card, gains us charges so that we can activate Thonai more often. Arcane Focus is just look at the top 2 card and put one into your hand, also fueling Slithering Marauder. Soothsaying, amazing card, draw 2 card, then choose and discard 1 card. You can empower it to draw 4 cards and discard 2 card, which is extremely good. Last one but not least, we're going to run Crackling Tide with its boots equipment. It is a quick action that put target troop into its controller hand, gain a charge, and the boots here does -1 cost, so it costs only 1. To wrap the cards that the enablers we're going to be playing, another classic for PvE, Dream Eagle with the glove equipment that reads double Sapphire Threshold, discard this, look at the top 4 card of your deck, put one of them into your hand, the remaining cards into your deck. So we discarded Dream Eagle, so we're going to gain some health, and then we have to look at 4 cards and draw 1. Overall, it's a very highly synergistic deck that plays a bit like a puzzle. You want to find what are the enablers that you have in your starting hand. You want to identify what are the win cons that you can play that specific game, and try to weave your plays around to achieve that in a shortest amount of time possible. We've also running in one of Arcane Zephyr. Basically, this one just provides flight. So when you have a very big Tomeseeker, giving it flight ensures that you'll be able to hit for a winning swing. The other way you enable Tomeseeker to connect is using Shrewd Manipulation, discarding a ton of cards from your hand and just exhausting the blockers, and then you're just good to go. For our dungeon playthrough, we're going to run the Great Machine Graveyard. This is the hardest dungeon in the game right now, and we're going to have to bring our A game if we want to get this deck to run as it needs to be, because it's not an easy deck to play, but we should be able to find the right lines and get things going, and hopefully we get some nice turn 2 kills with this run. So here we go. Against the Scraptooth Bouncer. I don't think we should have a lot of problem with Bouncer. Most of the problems that you get in Great Machine Graveyard is a lot of blockers. Often when you attack with the Tomeseeker, it's not ideal, but you have a lot of ways to deal with them. Here we're going to choose to go second to have the maximum number of charges at the start of the game. First turn Tomeseeker into a change course seems okay. It's not going to be stellar, but hopefully we can set up turn 2, and if we don't get anything turn 2 we can give it another go with change course. And this is on the lower power level of hands, but I think we've got enough to make things going, so let's try this one. Bouncer attacks, and oh, we've got a Shrewd Manipulation. Okay, so this went from good to great. We're going to discard a shard. Again, since we're discarding a shard, we're getting 3 temporary resource up to 4. And in this deck, it's a magic number because we have a lot of 2-cost cards. So we're going to put the Tomeseeker and the Shrewd Manipulation. These are quick actions. So we could right away discard one of them to draw 3 and make this big. And then during the opponent's turn we can discard and do the same thing. I guess drawing more cards would be good, and we've got a few shards to spare, so it might not be too bad. Oh, this one's already 7/7. That's great because we drew 3 Sapphire Shard. It went from 1 to +6/+6 because each Sapphire gives an additional +1/+1. So no attack. We're going to discard 2 cards now. This one is quick. This one is quick. This one. Okay, they're all quick. Going to be able to play 2 of them. I think I want to play... Yeah, I think I want to play Change Course and Crackling Tide, so we're going to discard these 2 to exhaust a troop. Drawing a bunch more. Forbidden Tomeseeker is now great. Going to Crackling Tide this. And then change course into... what do we have in end? I think we're going to change course into a resource, adding 2 more actions into our crypt, and we're very close to being able to play Slithering Marauder. With this run, that means we're going to likely win on turn 2. Yep, let's try to grab an action. Soothsaying will do. Since we plan on discarding our card, we will empower them first. Okay, so here we can get some resources. We'll use Shrewd Manipulation to discard 2 action, the 2 main ones. Alright. Drawing a bunch of cards. Now we're in range of the Slithering Marauder. So might as well absolute power on turn 2. draw our whole deck and win the game. Let's say 37. Keep one card in the deck. Let's see how big we can get Forbidden Tomeseeker. It's going to be very, very, very big. I'm glad that we get the turn 2 kill on the first combat, just showing you how amazing things can be when you get Shrewd Manipulation on the start of the game. Okay, so here we go. 30, 40, 50, 60, 72. Attack for 72 on turn 2. On turn 3. Oh no, this is turn 2. Yeah, we played it on turn 1. So, nice. Turn 2 victory here. With the biggest Tomeseeker you've ever seen. Really hard to get a Tomeseeker bigger than that. So, Strap Tool Manglers are really, really hard to deal with. And since we're playing a combo deck that can go off on turn 2, that's okay. But when we're on the play, we start by taking 8 damage that fight. So if we don't win on turn 2, we're usually just dead. This is one of the exceptions where I would likely play first if I have the chance. We start with a Shrewd Manipulation. So our chances are pretty good even on the draw. And here we don't really have a choice, so... Okay. We're still going to go with the usual plan of discarding a resource on the first turn to get up to 4 resources. We're definitely playing Shrewd Manipulation. We're going to keep one for Crackling Tide to remove one of these, so it will relieve a lot of pressure on our health. And usually I like to discard a card on the first turn, but I think I'm just going to play Arcane Focus. We don't have that many cards so far, so just going to wait and see and just discard during our opponent's turn. And we're going to get some nice things going, so let's just wait for attack. Remove one of these. Oh, I could have done way better. I could have removed one of these and then exhausted the other, so I would have taken no damage this turn. So that was a slight misplay. Alright, so discard these 2. Change course we can play. Soothsaying is not a quick action, but can change course before the end of the turn. Since we don't have any threat right now, I'm just going to go into another change course. Get another... And now we want a Slithering Marauder, or... Well, that's really what we want. A Tomeseeker or a Slithering Marauder. Did not find any. Wow, okay. I think we're just going to ramp, and if we ramp we go up to 5, we can do 1 Soothsaying and 1 change course. Hopefully that's enough to find what we need. We can start by changing course. Yeah, that's not great. Okay. Guard this. And Soothsaying. Yes. Guard this. Draw 3 more cards. Okay, so we're set it up for the next turn. In the meantime, on the opponent's turn, we can exhaust this to prevent us from attacking. And we're going to be able to gain enough resource to play one of the Crackling with, so... That's perfect. So discard... I think... I'm going to go like that. Draw 3 cards. Okay, so we're going to go double Tomeseeker next turn. Sounds like a plan. Alright, so here might as well get a ruby. Do we... I feel like we discard the no, not the Soothsaying, the change course. It's not... Change course is not card draw, so... We're going to... It's quick, but it's not card draw. Usually serves as a way to fill the crypt, so... This... this, and we can Crackling width to make these bigger. Yes. We already had our boost in resource and our boost in card draw for the turn. I'm not going to go with something else. Combat phase, we're going to... going to discard one of these, and then exhaust one of them. Drawing 3 cards, that's not that bad actually. Let's see, we really want a Slithering Marauder at that point. Yeah, because we've got an explosive power in our crypt, so we're already ready to win. Just need to remove all the blockers that we can, and then we're good. So now we just do the trick again and do absolute power. Well, this time going to be with a more conservative number. Well, you know what? We've got 20 cards left in our library, so might as well draw them all. Attack with the big Tomeseekers and yeah. Above 20? Yeah, above 20. Above 30? Yes. 40? No. Wasn't able to reach 40, but added together, it's a ton of damage still. So turn 4, 3-ish. That's going super well. Like the fact that you can just remove blockers and attack with the big Tomeseekers is great. The one thing I'd say about the list though is that there's many different ways to build this one, and you can win with the Slithering Marauders and Thonai as an engine. You can win with Bury. Using Absolute Power is insane. It provides a lot of card draw. It's nice that Tomeseeker can translate that card draw into damage. You also have Arcane Sword that can translate card draw into damage. So really, it's just all about translating card draw into damage. We've yet to do a game where we use the Wrath of Zakiir, but we've got a Shroom Manipulation. That's all we need, really. As long as we have Shroom Manipulation on turn 1 or 2, we usually are pretty good. So here we discard, get up to 4, Shroom Manipulation, and then we can can we Crackling Wit? I love Crackling Wit here because we're going to get some velocity. The problem right now is that we don't have a target though, so we can't use Shroom Manipulation here. We just hope that our enemy is going to play a troop and then be good to go. So we've got a troop, means that we can use this to discard 2 actions. We're going to discard this one, and Crackling Tide again in this matchup is not going to be stellar, so going to do this. And we've got a resource for the next turn. We could discard a resource now and get another action, but it's a gamble, and I'd like to I'd like to ensure that we get our second Sapphire threshold here, just to make sure that we can Dream Eagle for the things that we need. At that point we just need a ton of actions, and then we can Slithering Marauder and play the Forbidden Tomeseeker, and now we just need a shard. Yep. Get a shard, discard a shard, go up to 5, play the Tomeseeker, discard a couple actions to lower the cost of Slithering Marauder. We need to lower it to 3 or below. It should be perfectly fine. Now 3, if we discard these 2, it's going to be 1. So we're going to play the other one, discard these 2, and play the Slithering Marauder. Now we need to be very careful with what we do with absolute power, because we do want to have a couple of draws left in our deck at that point. So I'm guessing we're at 42. We could go 32-ish. We're going to have to discard at the end of this turn. So what we want is a handful of Slithering Marauders. So let's just go with 22. Give us a couple options, and we can discard the ones that we don't need at the end of the turn. Arcane Sword is good. I like to... Oh, Arcane Zephyr is perfect. This is the one I wanted to see, because there's going to be a lot of blockers. We still have a lot of fuel to, you know, remove blockers, but giving one of these Tomeseeker Flight going to be great. So 30, 40-ish. No problem. Just going to discard a bunch of shards. Discarding the higher costed actions in our hand. Here we go. 12, 11. I do want to keep one resource in my hand, so next turn we could just Rat of Zakiir to remove most of the blockers, but that's really not needed. Here we can just Arcane Zephyr one of the troops and an attack for victory. Not too bad, not too bad. Drawing, going crazy with absolute power here. So again, it's not the broken Thonai that we've seen in the past pre-nerf, but it's the same kind of principle. You just go, oh, I'm going to go for the mercenary note here for the added gold, because why not? The list is running super smooth right now. We can easily afford to do it. Scrap-toothed Crane Operator. This one... Which one? Is it? No, it's not the one with the... Oh, we don't have Enabler in our hand. It's really what we want to see. We have a free mulligan in PvE, so let's use it. Turn 1, Crackling width is not that great. Would like to see a Tomeseeker, or... now we can turn 1, double change course. Yeah, I think turn 1 double change course is okay. We're going to set up a nice hand with that. Looking at 6 cards, should be more than enough to set us up. So didn't draw something crazy here, but let's do this and see what we find. Oh, our opponent discarded a constant, so we're going to draw 3 cards now. Didn't find anything interesting, so let's change course 1. I guess Slithering Marauder is okay. Or no, we really want the Slithering Marauder. And change course number 2. It's going to provide us with... I like Crackling Tide. It's going to ramp us a charge, so it's a discard enabler, and right now we don't have our Shrewd Manipulation, so... Or a Tomeseeker. Now, this is the kind of situation where we may going for the Rat of Zakiir discard and then just try to win with a giant dragon and becoming a dragon. We do want... We could return the Megabot into our hand. I'm not quite sure what it would do to us. That would mean we can discard a card to Thonai's power. We would have only 1 resource left. I think we're just going to sit there and wait a turn, see what we find. Next turn we have access to 6, so we can empower Soothsaying, and then usually if you manage to... if all else fails, you can Soothsaying for 6 on turn 3. That should set up a turn for victory. Okay, so... Did not get what we wanted, so let's try this one out. I'm going to do a Soothsaying. And depending on what we get... Maybe... Oh, we could... Oh, wait a minute. We could Slithering Marauder now. But we don't have a... We need to discard something. We're not going to be able to set up anything here, so let's just... Soothsaying now. Draw 4 cards. We did draw Shrewd Manipulation. We already gained Yeah, I think we're going to go with Wrath of Zakiir. Well, let's keep our options open. And now at the end of our turn, we will be able to discard a couple more actions, 2 more. So next turn, definitely going to be interesting. I think we're going to become a dragon this game. We're going to lose the Slithering Marauder, but on the bright side, we're becoming a dragon. We're going to lose Thonai's passives as well, so you want a hand stacked with card draw if possible. Still with the Tomeseeker, so our first... we do want a ruby threshold before we become the dragon though, because the dragon's power is 1 ruby threshold. Okay, so yeah, I think we're just becoming dragon before doing anything else. Wrath of Zakiir with both equipment against us provides us with 3 additional charge and a random dragon on top of everything else. It's going to do 5 to all troops, so everything will die, and 5 to our opponent. And then we're going to transform into a dragon. And dragon is Zakiir, so basic, 1 charge, deal 2 to target champion or troop, then choose at random, create a random power of Zakiir, and put it into our hand. That's pretty much it. And then when a dragon troop you control deals damage to an opposing champion, create a random power of Zakiir. So we're going to play with a lot of power of Zakirs. These power of Zakiir, they're all extremely powerful cards. Here we see the Fire Servant. It's just a 1 cost 4/1 with speed and swift strike that when it dies deals 4 damage where we want. That's not good at all. Okay, so as soon as you become Zakiir, the game becomes extremely easy. It's not as fast as attacking with a very big early Tomeseeker, but as a fallback plan, being able to just wipe the board and do all these things is good. Here we can end the game right there because we have Shrewd Manipulation. We've got a Slithering Marauder that's going to absolute power. And then we can just remove this guy. And then we're going to... Oh no! Slithering Marauder was exhausted. What do? We ready a troop by discarding 2 of the Shrewd Manipulations. Okay, absolute power. 33 cards left in the deck. We need about, I'd say 30. 30 should be good enough, right? So again, we became Zakiir, but in the end, just we've got 3 Tomeseeker and we're drawing a ton of cards, so odds are that we find one early in the game most of the games. And this is where, if I'd have to do a couple iterations on the deck, I would try to, because really finding a way, using all Thonai's discards outlet with the Shrewd Manipulations, with all the other cards, and powering up Slithering Marauder is the engine, right? And then there's a ton of actions that you can play, and there's a ton of flexibility in what you can do here to win games. And you can use that to here translate card draw into damage through the Tomeseeker. You could use the glove equipment on the Marauders to reduce the cost of cards by 1. Play Chronic Madness with the escalation, so that when you play 1 Marauder it costs 0, so you just draw your whole deck and then just play free actions by using Chronic Madness and drawing cards to kill your opponent on the spot. There's some, you could just translate, you just bury your opponent and then translate that into damage with a Slithering Marauder, with Purging Flames. There's so many things you can do with the Marauder engine and Thonai. We haven't seen the last of it, and right now, you know, we've got a list that mostly wins on turn 3, sometimes on 4, sometimes on 2. But with more sets being released and more cards being added to the game, at some point we're just going to get another enabler, and things are going to look pretty good. This is not a great hand. Oh yeah, Shrewd Manipulation. We're set. So you need to be... do not hesitate to be very aggressive with your mulligans with this list. This is pretty much a combo deck, so You want to get one of the enablers in your starting hand. If you have one, you're going to pretty much win fairly quickly. Okay, so we don't have a Tomeseeker on our turn 1. We already drew 3 cards and gained resources, so there's no point in discarding more. However, we do want to find a Slithering Marauder at this point, so we're going to use as many card draws as we can. During our opponent's turn, we'll be able to Crackling Tide if they play a troop. No troop played, so no Crackling Tide. We can still discard cards just to draw 3 more during our opponent's turn, because our passive they reset every turn. So this turn we're going to be able to Dream Eagle for either a Marauder or Tomeseeker. Did not find any. We already have a Shrewd Manipulation, we have a bunch of shards. The goal here is really to dig up and find... do we need... Yeah, I guess we can discard actions this turn and gain some resources. Oh, that... We're going very deep right now. We looked at a ton of cards. You know what? I'm going to look at more cards. Ready... let's say Power of Zakiir next. Ready this. And then... Wow, nothing. We're mostly alpha our deck. We didn't find one Tomeseeker. We didn't find one Slithering Marauder. Okay. 3 resources open. Change course. Soothsaying. Yeah. Next turn we're going to have our champion power, but that doesn't really matter. I think we look at 3 either way. Might as well Soothsaying here. I don't think that's a big difference. Oh, 3. That means we can Slithering Marauder this turn and become Zakiir if we want to. That could be great. I guess this is where we're going. We could draw our whole deck, but we don't have a Tomeseeker in place, so that's kind of a bummer. What we could do is put Arcane Soil. Okay, so this is... we're going to win right there. So we're going to discard 2 action. So the goal right now is to play 1 Slithering Marauder to use Absolute Power, and then use another Slithering Marauder to cast Arcane Soil from the crypt. So we're going to do the first one here. And then Absolute Power. We're just going to draw our whole deck. And by drawing our whole deck, well, let's draw our whole deck -2 to be exact. It's just to get 4 cards just in case. So we're bound to get another Marauder. It's going to be free. And we can just Arcane Soil, draw 2 cards, create 1 Dreadling per cards that we have in hand. And we should be good. Alright, we got there. We did get there. So Arcane Soil is a lovely card that will generate us a couple of Dreadlings. And this is turn 2. That's another way you can win games with this. Here we go. We got there. It's not it's not as linear as the broken Tonya was with the Settlers of Entrat, but you can see how Tonya could get. She provides so much resources in terms of card draw and ramp that at the same time it just things get insane really quickly. This is the perfect hand. So we're going to Shrewd Manipulation Tomeseeker on the first turn. And we may very well win on the second turn with this kind of hand, so... Here... Shrewd Manipulation, Tomeseeker... I kinda want the Tomeseeker to get get bigger, so do we discard 2? I think that's greedy. Let's not be greedy just yet. It's already going to draw 3 cards now and gain a shard. Okay, so we could do this, and then before we do, it's important to empower the Soothsaying before you discard them. It's just a little thing, but if you get an early Marauder with not much into your crypt, you can at least Marauder into an empowered Soothsaying, which is not the best, but it's still drawing 4 cards and discarding 2, which enables a ton of stuff in this deck. So that tends to be worthwhile. We want Sapphire next. So here, drawing 3 cards and absolute power among them. Not going to use Crackling Tide on this guy, do I? Yeah, I really don't need to use Thonai's power anymore to win the game, so... And we've got a Marauder, so... We're mostly set for turn 2 win now. Just need to discard these to get some resources going. Hopefully we draw enough actions here to fuel Marauder. It's going to be tight. We've got 4. It's going to cost 4. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We have enough. We have just enough. Just enough. At this point it doesn't matter empowering a Soothsaying or not. And then we absolute power. And draw our whole deck. Our opponent has 28 health, we're at 11, so if we want to be efficient, we're not drawing more than 17. Even with the average, like 13 should be enough-ish. Because each Sapphire cards gives us 2, so just splitting the difference. Yeah. Just to make things, you know, if you want to use that deck to farm, you want to be efficient with the card draw that you get, because often, you know, we're doing way more damage than we need to most of these games that I played so far. So you really want to be careful, like pay attention to the small details, like the number of cards that you need to draw, and that takes time. There's, you know, frames that are used for the animation and such, so you really want to just be efficient, and that should be perfect. So going second. What do we have? We don't have any enablers. We do have a Slithering Marauder and an absolute power. We're going to draw, look at 4 cards, draw 2, get a charge. I think that this is the kind of hand that you want to have if you're not going to have enablers at all. This could come and bite us in the ass, but with 2 Crackling Wits and a change course, it should be okay. Trying to find a Tomeseeker or an enabler. Is that good enough? I mean, Scott is kind of hard. Yeah, I think we really want a Shroom Manipulation. Here we got one. Okay, so this is way better. So again, go aggressive with the mulligan. You want to see an enabler. You don't have many, you have 3 in the deck, but you have 8 cards starting hands and you have got 2 mulligans. So that's 16 card looks for an enablers. Usually that's enough. And in this case it was. Discarding this, Shroom Manipulation, Crackling here, gain a charge, could attack for 1. We've got a ton of actions in our hand, but we're going to be conservative. Absolute power, Slithering Marauder into Arcane Soil is a win for us. So here we discard 2 to exhaust something. Start with absolute power, exhausting this guy. Drawing 3 cards, that's okay. We wanted a second Sapphire Threshold, we got it. Let's see what we get. We'd like a Tomeseeker if we can. We'd like a shard. Can we Slithering Marauder this turn? Going to be hard, but we do need an action with this. So if we get an action, Slithering Marauder is going to be 4 less, it's going to cost 3. Yeah, it should be okay. It should be okay. Wait, what? Did I just ready this guy? Yeah, it's going to be more than okay. And now... discard 2 to exhaust something. And then we're going to be on the absolute power into Arcane Soil plan. Or we need 30 drilling, so we kinda need everything. Because there's 2 blockers still, so 41. We already draw cards because we discarded, so we're going to go with maximum power here. We need 32 cards on hand. We've got 43. That's more than enough. We do need to discard a bit to get the Slithering Marauder. 3. Okay, we're there. And then we Arcane Soil to draw 2. Exactly the 2 last cards in our deck. To create an army of Dreadlings. And then attack for lethal on turn 2. Ta-da! Here we go. Another turn 2 victory. And this, and this. Alright, so that was it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like, please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment on the video. That helps giving visibility and getting things going. You can also find me on Twitter and on the forums with the same name. Hoping that you get some luck in your next runs, and see you again next week. Bye.